So hello everyone. I'm not a founder or a SaaS developer. I used to be a AI researcher a few years ago, and a couple of years I have been working as a full stack developer in Korea. So this is one of like I have been doing many side projects just for testing the things out. So out of all those projects, this is one of the project where I have deployed it on render. And then later I decided to just move the database from render to the Supabase. So I am a Python developer. So my stake were Django. So that's why first time I deployed on render, and to make everything work smooth, I just use the Postgres database with the render. But later, just for trying free version of Supabase, uh, I have migrated. So why this talk is there? So it seems very simple task, like uh, migrating a database from one service provider to another service provider. But given the free version, you will have some of the problem that I have, and it will be mostly like being researcher background. It will be mostly like little bit of technical and other thing, how you will do, what option will come, and all those LLM out there. Still, you know that, oh, I make a mistake kind of LLM thing. So you just keep your posting your error and everything, but still, if they don't have updated information that Supabase have changed some configuration, some pro plans, some pre plans, and then it will be taking you the loop, and then you will see how to get out. So it is basically, I will be speaking for 10 minutes. So this is just a few outline. So how was the architecture before and after? Why Supabase? Because this is a Supabase event. And then how we did the migration checklist and the steps. And the interesting part is the fail attempts due to the pro account and free account, IPv4, IPv6, all those technical details that Supabase enforce. So let's go. So this was the simple architecture. I have deployed everything on Django with template and the Postgres database, and the database was also on the render service. Then now after the migration, uh, my app is still running on the Django with render, and then I have just migrated my database to Supabase. So why migration become important? Because I have included the payment gateway and all those data also. So there was pretty much some 100 MB of data, but data was there. It was a live system, and then I want to migrate from another service provider. So this is basic Django architecture. So everything was a template front end, and then Django was on the back end. So everything was on render.com. Then after migration, the base code and everything stay in the render.com, and we just move out the database to Supabase. And yeah, so in this case, I am not using Supabase authentication or storage, just pure Postgres, because we have implemented everything already in the Django app, so we don't need inbuilt authentication. But other app we are using authentication that's very fast to develop using Supabase. So if you are already, many of you are developer and have been working with Postgres, so it seems very simple. You have your tools, pg dump, you take dump from render.com, and then you have pg restore, and you put that into Supabase. It's a simple 4 step. It's look very nice. So I say, okay, let's do it, because uh, Florin was asking for a presentation. So I give it a try. I said it will be very simple, and I say I will do it, and I will present. So I took the weight, and I started it. So it was very nice. We have in Django, if you are from Python and Django background, we have pretty much everything in one framework. It's very heavy, but all tools are there. So we have already migration and everything. So I thought we will follow the after migration. We will have Django migrate that will fix up all the database related query. So with this dream, I started it. So let's break to why Supabase. Already we have few of the presentation. Supabase is really cool. I have been using it for 3 4 other projects, and it have been helping a lot. So we can focus on more your framework like Python, Rest, or whatever language you use, and the database or other backend thing can be taken care by Supabase. So Postgres is the database, so that's why we are here. And then free tier is also having suitable for like MVP kind of thing. Also, if you have like very limited user or even a moderate side of user base, that still it work. Only thing is the limitations on the tools and other features. So migration checklist, if you have a larger size and free version, so you have two constraint in the render.com. If you have lots of data, and in Supabase side, if you are on free tier, then you will get limited by the tools and features, and then the migration will create problem. You need pro version for advance, and if you have large data. And then sometime when you are doing migration, everyone know that it is a risky thing. If you are having live system, then zero time is needed, then migration have to be carefully done. So my situation was earlier, it's not a SaaS or it's not a MVP, so it's all okay, just testing the thing. And the important part is you have to be very careful with the Postgres versions. It sounds very simple, 15 to 16. What is the difference? We can just go through the release and see what changes have been done. But internally, there will be very much change. And then when you are doing migration, especially, then you have to be very careful with the small changes also. That will maybe not be noticed in the document, update document. And then that is one of the important thing. So as I said, it was very nice pg dump. You can get your host and user every detail from your render, and then you will have a backup. Then in the Supabase size, already everyone I think will be using Supabase somehow. So you can create a new project, and then you can just give your database setting, and then from there you can get your host, port, password, and every connection string. So it till here it was very nice. I was very excited to use, because in render.com the URL work very fine. You can use a PG store and everything very easily. But then I tried this PG restore given the Supabase host, and mind it was a free version. So then it should have been work, like it should have been done the task in first go. There is no problem with this. We have all the tools, we have the backup, we have Supabase host, and then it, like, this was the database detail. Then I tried this, but that did not work. So with the command, with the information, there was no problem. So where was the problem? Anyone have been using this? So I have shown you the process. What was the problem? What would have been the problem? Why it did not work? PG dump, PG restore, both are like cousins. You dump and you restore. Yeah. Okay. That could be quite possible. Any other reason? I am just mentioning. Yes. No, that was also okay. So it's pretty simple. I have been starting from saying from a start it was a free version, and might of if you are from Supabase, they have restriction on the IP addresses. If your network is on IPv4, now they are, I think, supporting in free version. They are mostly looking for IPv6, and then this loop will start with your LLM, ChatGTP, or whatever you are using. They will miss this slight information somehow. I don't know how, but they will miss it, and then they will not say that there is pooler and there is many other options that you can use in free version also, but the loop will start. So fail attempts and lesson learned. So first I tried this and it did not work because network is unreachable, because pre-tier block TCP connection and IPv6 routing issue. So it's only support IPv4 and 6 you need. So then second solution is LLM and all those things. They supported that. Okay, look, do one thing, take some cloud and most of the cloud they support IPv6. So you having problem with IPv4, so go there and then it will be solved. So I have access of my AWS, so I put my backup there and I tried the same command, but did not work. So this is not me, this is LLM saying me to do. I was just a worker there and doing the task with the error message, copy pasting back and forth. Then third one did not work because of this restriction again there also. And then same very similar experience was there also. Then by somehow the LLM come up with one solution. They say, okay, look, do one thing. If your database is smaller, take the SQL version of the database, and Supabase give the SQL editor. It is very nice. I use SQL editor every day, and it's very nice. If you have SQL command, you can just run it, and then your table and everything can be created. The first speaker was talking about CRUD and or RLS, everything. You can have SQL command, maybe from LLM, and you can just use SQL editor and you can do. So I was really hopeful to do this one. Then I have mentioned in the beginning that the tool version and Postgres version should be very clear what you are copy from and where you are pasting. So when you take dump, the earlier dump that I have taken, that was not supposed to be SQL. So you just have to convert your dump using file system and everything. So again, it will have many syntax error because your dump was not supposed to be using SQL. So with this one, you will have syntax error and you have to take dump as a file format. So you can just again change your command. So pgdump, and you have to put this one no privilege and insert as this one. So what this underscore insert do, all the data that you have into your render or the source database, they will take that data, but not as a like normal data for a restore command. It will create a insert SQL command into your file. So then it will be very easy to do. Otherwise, normal restore or other format, it will have a text block and then somehow restore command use from there. So you have to use this one, then you got plain SQL, then life will be simple. Some here and there will be some living text or something that you can fix manually if it is a smaller. If it is bigger, then you will be again in trouble because these tools also don't have everything neat and clean. Somewhere here and there will be some string left out that you have to clean up. So if it is big, then you can, once you get a SQL, your life will become easy. You can just split into multiple SQL file and then you can paste it. So by this, it will be very easy to migrate. It only work for a smaller database. So you use pgdump with insert, use a Supabase SQL editor. Maybe it is the talk purpose to talk about SQL editor. So Supabase SQL editor is very good. You can just use or your SQL, and then it support very well in the pre-tier also. So later when I started, this was the migration done, but again when I try to run the Django migrate command, again that issue persists. Then I explore further and we come to know about the other issue. So we have the pool base, so there you can use the restoration and everything. So lesson learned, this already I have discussed. So that is the, so you have to use this editor. And then there are other issue also. So in this talk I have not included especially the Django part, where again the connection string that you will be using, that will also not work with the normal Supabase database string. Then you have to like, this issue will also come. So this is like when you go into the Django, there again this will create the normal database URL that will not work because in pre-tier that is not supported. So then you have to do some again work around, and then you can make your Django DG connection also to work, and then it will be done. So that this thing. So that is that's all for today. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah. We have time for? Yeah. We have time for 2 questions. Do we have questions? Yeah.
As you know, the prettier doesn't support the database backup, but can I backup and restore my Supabase database by the way you have tried?
Can you?
Would it be? Sorry. As you know, the Supabase free tier doesn't support database backup, and the way you have tried can could I try the dump and restore of prettier database? Sorry, bad English. Free tier.
No, you can answer.
Yeah, so as said before, the free tier doesn't have backups. The pro tier has 7 days backup. But on the free tier, so I don't know if yeah, I should say that. It happens sometime. You know, I have the use case where I had a free project and I did a terrible mistake. All the database was gone. And I think this is very useful tip, to be honest. So my whole database was done on the free tier, and I was like, wow, you know, it's what can I do? There is no backup, and I thought it was a couple of month ago. So I thought, oh yeah, I want to pay for the pro tier, but does that work? And actually, it does. So if you're on the free tier and you just destroy your database for any chance, Supabase still record backups, but you just can't see them. So you can technically pay for the pro tier, just backup. But even on the free tier, even though you don't want to go pro, you can still set up your own backups yourself. You can have like a cron job that runs every day, twice a day, that do a PG dump and upload this dump on S3, and then you can have your so I don't know if that was clear. So the thing is, on free tier, you don't in a nutshell, on free tier you don't have access. Supabase on the free tier still record backups every day. You can't see them. If you go pro, if you make a mistake and you go pro, you can still see, thankfully, the 7 days. That's a good thing, so you can roll back. But on the free tier, you can set up your own backups by just doing a PG dump, like you have like a backend or a cron job that do a PG dump and export the result file on an S3 bucket or any bucket of you do you want, and then if something happen, you can just take that bucket and do a PG restore, and you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's a good question. I guess yes. I mean, depends on the size of the database, but if you're on a free tier, technically the database is not that big. It's like maximum 100 megabyte, something like that. So, but I prefer paying for 10 cent of than losing my database. And I actually had no problem paying for the $25 to get my data. So I think we're fine. But that was a nice discovery for me that the backups are done, and it's probably they do this on the background as well. They just do PG dumps somewhere. So the backups are done. So if on the free tier something bad happen, you can still go to the pro plan, and then you can see the 7 days. You can back up, and then don't try to do this often, but it saved me for the time. So I was very thankful to the team that actually they still record. I thought maybe when I go pro, then they start recording, but actually no, they always record. They just give you access to this data.
Hi, it was a good journey for you to migrate from Render to Supabase. I wonder if Supabase does not offer migration tools. Like, why don't, if they don't have something like that?
Yeah. So basically, I am not aware of the tool, but this part was to explore how we can do with the pre-tier and the local tools, because being a developer, you always, because I have told initially that this is not any MVP or I'm not doing for any SaaS kind of thing. So it was all this project, payment, API, everything is for tinkering the things, how things work. So that's why I took that route. Maybe Supabase will have a better migration tool, or if they don't have, it's good time to write down everything in a Rust tool base, so I can just promote that as a like render to Supabase migration tool. So I will cross check this. Yeah.
If there was, I think maybe the AI will offer that too in the first
Yeah,
place.
it was not supported by any AI help. So maybe some expert Supabase person can tell. But if it is not, then we can write a simple script or some Rust-based tool to do it. Yeah.
So there are tools. There are tools. There is on the CLI you have like if you do, you can just do a super on the CLI. If you have Supabase installed, you can do a Supabase DB and see all the comments. And but under the hood, it's the same thing. But the good thing about you, so you can do a Supabase DB dump and I think a restore as well. And this is the same way when you can, if you use TypeScript, you can generate the types for your database. You just take a screenshot of your database, get the types, and give you a .d.ts file that you can put and have a typed database. So you have tools. I think you could have used the tools, which is I think I did a lot like you before until I realized there are tools. But I don't think it could have worked for the dump.
Yeah.
Because it's not Supabase. The Supabase DB dump is actually pretty good because you can link with your database, either the local or the production one. But if the database was on render, but that's a good point. I think you can even specify a URL, so maybe that's possible. But it's just an helper, and I truly believe that under the hood, it's a PG dump and a PG restore as well, just a little bit more tied to Supabase. So if the project is the CLI is linked with your project, you don't have to specify the project, and you can even a lot of people they use ORMs like Drizzle, Prisma, but it's not 100% perfect, and they are doing a lot of work on it. But you can generate migration and do a lot of things on just with the CLI itself. So you were recommending to use the SQL. It's the SQL query. It's good, but on production, better have migrations. And the problem is a lot of vibe coders use the CLI, but then you don't have migration. So if something happens, if you want to roll back, you can't. But with the CLI, Supabase CLI, you can have migrations. So just dig into the CLI, what's possible. There's a lot of things you can do.
Yeah, but basically in CLI also, as you said, the database connectivity from other, I don't know they support local dump or not, but if you are in same database and you connect to your database in Supabase account, then CLI connect back to it. So if it support external dump, then I think it will work. If it don't support, then you have to go this way. So I think they will not, because that create lots of trouble for maintaining the format and versions and everything. And they also make their CLI DB very heavy, because if they start supporting this kind of thing, then there are multiple database kind of thing, and then it will make the tool very heavy. So I don't think they will have, but I will cross check and post it, maybe a LinkedIn post. Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. Big round of applause for the talk today. Thank you.